Right now, thousands of people from across the country are descending on downtown St. Louis as March Madness action gets underway. The upsets, buzzer beaters, and team spirit all draw us in. But here, 22 miles west of downtown St. Louis, that same exciting sports action happens every week. Chesterfield has become an epicenter for youth sports, with its facilities hosting major tournaments, bringing in big dollars for the local economy. Head over heels for the big business youth sports are bringing to West St. Louis County and beyond.
Those teams are spending nights in hotels, going out to eat, looking for family activities to do after the game or in between games. And so a lot of tourism and the economy in Chesterfield relies on sports.
The Chesterfield Valley has become a mecca for youth sports, home to some of the region's largest sports facilities for hockey, soccer, baseball, basketball, volleyball, and gymnastics. Is there ever a week where there's nothing scheduled here?
No.
3 years ago, the 73,000 square foot Beal Center off Etherton Road opened its doors, featuring 9 basketball courts that can double as 18 volleyball courts and 27 pickleball courts.
So everything we did here, we went all out. We wanted it top-notch lighting, flooring, everything to take care of the kids that play here.
Stuart Duncan, board president of the Chesterfield Sports Association, says events like this gymnastics competition bring in athletes from all across the country, and the facility has become so popular an expansion is already in the works.
If we had 3 more courts, we know between volleyball and basketball we could fill the space right away. You wouldn't have thought building a 9-court facility, outgrowing that. We have outgrown it probably within the first year.
The Beal Center isn't the only sports facility eyeing an expansion in the near future.
We would want some high school size fields where we could bring in high school tournaments, so full baseball fields, and a quad of them where you could have a decent sized tournament, maybe the state high school association baseball tournament.
Chesterfield's Parks, Recreation, and Arts Director Wayne Dunker says that's one possibility for 30 acres of city-owned land near the sprawling Chesterfield First Community Athletic Complex, which hosts 40 tournaments a year, mostly baseball and softball. From a dollar figure, what do these youth sports complexes mean for the economy of Chesterfield?
Well, in-house, conservatively, we estimate last year in 2025, they brought in $25 million into the Chesterfield economy.
We knew there was a big community, sports community out here, especially with youth sports. And being there, one of the first things we did was reach out to all these complexes and say, hey, how can we partner with you? How can we, help you plan with these tournaments to see where these kids can go, where these parents can go, maybe let off some steam.
Four Hands was one of the early businesses in the growing district entertainment area that was once an outlet mall. Now, more shops, entertainment spaces, and restaurants are popping up around them, largely because of the youth sports economy.
You're pretty much, staying, playing, shopping, eating within a 5 to 10 mile radius, which is great.
Chesterfield isn't the only area capitalizing on the youth sports craze. In the Metro East, O'Fallon is using money from a hotel tax to add soccer fields to its family sports park. And in South County, a feasibility study is underway to possibly turn the struggling South County Mall into a youth sports complex with ice rinks and an event center. In nearby Ellisville, voters will soon decide on a $3.6 million bond issue for the city to buy the Ellisville Athletic Association ball fields, with the goal of turning the dirt fields into turf fields in order to draw bigger tournaments and have fewer rainouts. It is clear cities are turning to youth sports to not only give a boost to surrounding businesses, but also improve the quality of life for their residents.
The taxes that are coming in off all those sales could help roads and bridges and streets and planning and development and purchasing equipment, better trucks and snow plows and things like that. Yeah, for sure.
Back at the Beal Center, Stuart Duncan says soon after this gymnastics competition, they're gearing up for a busy hoop season.
When we hit the basketball tournament season, which is about mid to end of March through July, a little bit into August, about 80% of those teams are coming from out of town. And so it's not uncommon to have a 120 team tournament where 80% of those are coming from out of town. We've had teams from Canada, Hawaii, California, all over Texas come in to play in these events.
And that's music to business owners' ears.
Youth sports is not going away. It's only getting bigger. And I feel like it's an economy that's just on the verge of just crushing it.